KTRF AM 1230, 93.3 FM, online trfradio.com. And Thursday morning, the 13th of September. And good morning. Every Thursday morning at about this time, we like to bring our show called Hometown Heroes your way. Hometown Heroes is brought to you by Roxbury Truck Repair and by Marco. Joining us on our Hometown Hero show this morning on KTRF is Art Hines into the studio. Art, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to have you, and I appreciate you stopping in. Art, of course, had been a big volunteer in certainly our community for many, many years, and we're going to learn a little bit about him this morning. And a lot of people know Art Hines in the name. But Art, let's let those folks that don't know Art Hines, let's go back a little bit and tell us about where you're from.
I'm originally from Belgrade, Minnesota. That's south of Sauk Center. I grew up and graduated from high school there in 1956 and became shorthanded in a power saw accident at age 19, and then decided my dad wouldn't want me to milk cows with my prosthetic hooks. So
probably not a good idea, right?
I had the ability to go to college, which I didn't know I did because I wasn't planning on that. But I started out in majoring in ag education because farming was all that I knew. And then I didn't think I could do what an ag teacher did, but I could do what an occupational therapist did. So I transferred to occupational therapy, and I started out at the University of Minnesota and ended up at UND in Grand Forks, where I got my degree, and the rest is history. I retired, worked in Minneapolis for 1 year, and then was recruited to come to Thief River Falls, where I started the occupational therapy program here with an empty room and expanded it to what it is now. And I retired after 40 years at the hospital. Couldn't have had a better place to work in the world.
Yeah. Now, and this whole time, too, you were here in our community is where we got to know you. You took it upon yourself to really make things better for a lot of people. You volunteered for a number of things. What made you want to be so involved?
Well, I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't snowmobile, I don't do all those physical things. And I've always been active as a volunteer, FFA, 4-H in my youth. And when I came to town, I joined the JCs, which was the best move I've ever made. And unfortunately, the chapter isn't here anymore. Mm-hmm. But the motto there was community service, leadership development through community service. And I got really involved there and learned a lot. I mean, you learn a lot as a volunteer. And I was well received in this community, and people were very cooperative to help out if they were asked.
One of the things you also do is you talk to a lot of people. With disability, certainly was a big part of it. But you spoke at meetings, events, different things, right?
Yes. I still do disability awareness talks. I was at the district Cub Day camp here earlier this summer, and I still do a lot of disability awareness talks in the area. And next week I'll be lecturing at the University of, UND, University of North Dakota at Grand Forks on prosthetics.
Okay, all right. And of course, you're. What year did you have your accident?
1957.
Okay. When you've got for those that don't know, you have two hooks on your hands.
Correct.
For where your hands are.
I call them my hook hands.
Your hook hands, okay. and you've had that ever since, right? Pretty much the same
Yes.
type? Same type?
Same type. I've had these, this is my third set of hook prosthesis, body-powered prosthesis. So I've been an amputee for 60 years.
Okay.
And my prostheses are so much a part of me, it's kind of like glasses. You don't even know you got them on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would imagine after that long. But there's been a lot of changes over the years. But you haven't elected to go with anything different, have you?
No, many people have asked me, well, why don't you get a pair of those artificial hands? Mm-hmm. Well, I would be quite handicapped if I had those artificial hands. But with my type of prosthesis for my line of work, like an occupational therapist, and my hobbies I couldn't do with artificial hands that I can do with my hook prosthesis, my hook hands.
All right. You were a member of United Way as well, and they've kind of gone up and down, haven't they? I think because we still have United Way in town, I think, don't we?
Yes. When we first came here, it was United Fund in 1964, and then it went defunct, and then it was reorganized as United Fund again, and I served as a long-term volunteer in that, including running the campaign a number of years. And that way, having been in JCs, I knew a lot of people, and they knew I did volunteer work, so people sometimes
Call Art. Those are the words. I know St. Bernard's. You've also been very involved with St. Bernard's, right?
Yes. I just resigned off the Building and Grounds Committee. I've been on that ever since that was formed in about 45 years ago. And I've really enjoyed that. I've been very active at St. Bernard's and various committees and so on.
Mm-hmm. One of the ways I first got to really know you was scouting, because you were very involved with scouting. And I know many years ago we talked to you on the air about scouting. You were very involved.
Yes, that was a real important part of my life, I guess. I was not handicapped when it came to scouting. I mean, that's mostly teaching and working with kids. I love doing that. I'm still actively involved behind the scenes. We just completed our fundraising drive for the community, and that was successful. So thank you, Thief River Falls. And I'm still involved with it, and but slowing down now. I just turned 80, so I can retire pretty soon.
Did you really?
Yes.
You do not look 80 years old. You do not. Toastmasters, another one of the things you've been involved with.
Yes, that was a volunteer organization which gave me a lot of confidence. I never accepted the chairmanship of that group because I figured there's others that would need the experience better than I did. But Toastmasters was very helpful to me in public speaking.
Golden Pioneers.
That was a fun organization, so if I can give a commercial for that, we're looking for more members. I won't tell you what our average age is, but we're made up of all retired folks, people who've all been active in the community at one time, and we have we meet once a week at the Greenleaf or whatever the new.
Well, the Riverwalk, where the Evergreen was?
Yes.
Okay, Riverwalk,
We meet there once a week. We have a speaker each time, and I've been active in that and served as president of that. And a wonderful organization because we keep informed what's going on in the community.
All right. And Pioneer Village, you've been involved with Pioneer Village out there too?
Yes, I did that a number of years ago, and Orville Stocks and myself did a number of repair of old stuff out there, and that was fun. And then we had the Boy Scouts involved in their service projects, and so that's been a fun place to work with and see grow from what it was when there was just lawn started to be growing.
Yeah, no doubt. Art Hines is our guest. It's Hometown Heroes. We're going to continue more with Art in just a moment. I want to remind you that our program brought to you by Roxbury Truck Repair, Truck Shop, Truck and Trailer Maintenance and Repair with Roxbury Truck Repair, and Marco Communication Tools, Copiers, IT Services, and Maintenance. Check them out at marconet.com. Roxbury Truck Repair and Marco bringing our Hometown Heroes today. Our Hometown Hero is Art Hines, and we've talked about a number of things that you've been involved with. I also know you've been involved with music.
Yes, Ray Hedlund and I do entertaining. Once a week, we usually play someplace at the nonprofits here, nursing homes in Arizona. We chicken out here and go to south for the winter. And there, I'm a member of several groups where we entertain about 2 or 3 times a week at various nonprofits. And I find that very gratifying. And here again, that's an activity I can do where you don't need hands.
Okay, so what musically do you do? You sing? You play an instrument? What do you do?
I play harmonica.
Harmonica. You didn't happen to bring your harmonica with, did you?
No, I didn't.
Should have thought of that. I should have thought of that had you play us a tune. How long have you played harmonica?
Since I was about 12 years old.
So you're pretty good at it, I'm guessing.
Well, no one's thrown any rotten apples at me.
Do you find playing music therapeutic?
I find it very therapeutic for myself because I love doing it. and I play the old-time songs like going to nursing homes. They remember the type of music that I grew up with, like Pistol Packin' Mama and stuff like that, and waltzes and polkas. And it's very therapeutic for the residents. If you have people with a memory loss, music and songs is one of the last things that they lose. And it's very gratifying to see some people and the staff tell us, well, gee, that person hasn't danced forever. And if someone dances with them, they can do it quite well or sing the songs that they know.
Yeah, I've heard that about music. Music is, you're right, therapeutic both ways, probably for you and for them, too.
Yes,
so. Art, before I let you go today, with your handicap, has it really been much of a handicap for you? Because you've been so active with things.
No, I don't think it has. I avoid things that I know I can't do. I just I joined the wood shop in Arizona where we go for the winter, and I learned some new woodworking activity, which I really gratify in doing because it's challenging, and so I know there's certain things I can't do, so I just accept that and not get sore about it.
What was, thinking back, I know it's been a long time, but what was the toughest part about adjusting your life when you lost your hands?
Well, I think my first shock was not being able to know that I could be a farmer, because that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't think I didn't know what I could do, and I guess I was exposed to occupational therapy when I was a patient at Gillette Hospital back in 1958. And their occupational therapy, I credit that for giving me back my life. I learned to use my prosthesis. And the next, after I graduated, I guess I wondered, is anyone going to hire a person without hands? And I couldn't have found a better place to work than a hospital. I mean, I was well received. I got my first job where I did an internship, so they knew of my ability as well as my disability. And I was recruited to come up here by Norm Peterson, who was the administrator then. And my disability was a non-issue.
Yeah. Well, you certainly made the best of it. I know people here in Thief River Falls are certainly of big thanks and gratitude that you came up here. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the pleasure of coming here.
It's been fun. Art, thanks so much for coming in. Art Hines, our guest today on our Hometown Hero. Art Hines, our update this morning. Hometown Hero brought to you by Roxbury Truck Repair and by Marco.